All right, everybody, it is noon and we're going to start our flow yoga. This will be 60 minutes long today. My name is Justine. I am a personal trainer and vinyasa yoga teacher. So I'm really excited for our practice today. We're going to bring in a few new things and we're actually going to start lying down today with your feet on the floor. So you don't need any equipment except for your mat. So your soles of the feet will be down, knees bent, and lying down on your mat. I want you to take your 2 fingers on both hands and put them right on top of your hip bones. And then you're just going to kind of grip around your sides. And I'm going to have you move through a pelvic tilt. So as you inhale, you're going to fill your belly, arch your back, and feel the pelvis rock forward. And as you exhale, tuck the tail under and feel the pelvis rock backwards. So continue just using your own breath. Inhale, low back lifts, belly expands. Exhale, tuck tail, press low back down, belly button in. So just mobilizing that low back. Good, now find neutral pelvis. So this is the place right between those 2 extremes where your pelvis is right in the center. So you'll probably have a slight arching to the low back. And from here, I want you to put one hand over your belly and one hand on top of your chest. Now maintaining this neutral spine, fill the belly up, low belly first, send the air down to the pelvic floor. Exhale, belly draws in and up. Again, keeping stillness through the low back, stillness through the ribs. So 2/3 of your inhalation is from the diaphragm down. Only 1/3 is going to come up into the chest and rib cage. So really fill that low belly. Feel the hand rise up. Now at the bottom of your exhalation, I want you to add a little pause. So you're going to exhale all the air out and then pause for about 2 to 3 seconds. Now add a pause at the top of the inhalation as well. 4-part breath. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Making sure the movement is happening below the diaphragm primarily. So that's the low belly, pelvic floor. Beautiful. All right. Arms down by your sides. You're going to keep your feet in the same position. Now on an inhalation, lift your arms up over your head. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Now what I want you to think about is maintaining that neutral pelvis, not allowing the ribs to flare out. Can we get the arms over the head without moving the spine? Allow the breath to dictate your rhythm. Think about sending the inhales down. Good. Now we're going to add a glute bridge. So inhale, arms lift over the head. Exhale, arms down, hips lift up. Inhale, hips down, arms overhead. Exhale, arms down, hips up. Inhale, arms overhead, hips drop. Exhale, arms by your sides, hips lift. One more time. Good. Now hold your bridge. Awesome. From here, we're going to just begin to lift the heels up off of the floor. Lift them up. Lower the heels down. Lift the heels and lower. A few more. Keep the hips high. One more time. Good. Lower the hips down. Stretch out the legs. So the legs will go long. Let's hug in just the right knee. Squeeze it in towards your chest. Now switch. 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 Good. Hug both knees in. And now bring the knees wide to your armpits. Rock side to side. Lengthen the spine, head down, slight tuck to the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. Good. Bring the knees together and roll up to a seated position. Beautiful. All right, let's turn right over, coming into our tabletop. Now again, we're going to find that neutral spine. We're going to first, without using the neck will stay neutral. We're going to move just the pelvis through both extremes of anterior and posterior tilting. Inhale as you lift the hips and open and expand the belly. Exhale to tuck the hips, draw the belly in and up. Continue using your own breath. Keep your neck neutral. Straight through the elbows. Now begin to shorten each pelvic tilt until you find your center, your neutral spine. Yes, awesome. So from here, we're going to extend just the left arm. Now see if you can keep equal weight down the midline as you do this, bracing through the core, thumb up. Try to get your bicep right next to your ear. Now, heavy through the right palm and left knee, very slowly extend your right leg without shifting the weight from side to side. Your hips are level. Hold here and breathe without losing tension in your core. Hold steady. Good. The knee comes back down. The hand comes back in. Beautiful. Now back into the neutral pelvis. Extend just the right arm out first. Thumb up. Lift that arm high by bicep next to the ear. Heavy through the left palm and right leg. Slowly extend the left leg straight back behind you. Flex through that ankle, straight through the knee. Keep the hips level. Really, really reach, creating a strong line. Bracing through the core. Find the breath in and out through the nose. Good, draw that knee back in, bring it to the mat, and the hand comes back down. Beautiful. We're going to start some hip rotation. So starting with the right leg, we're gonna lift the knee up in a 90-degree direction. From here, the hip opens to the side, drawing a big circle with your knee. Coming back through center, lift, come around, and back to center, so big circle. Now watch the left thigh. The left leg should stay still. You should not be rocking side to side. Press down through your palms, and now switch directions. Bring the knee to the elbow, and then up and around. Breathe through this. The breath creates this openness, it creates a smoothness of motion. One more rotation. Good, place that right knee down. If you need to come up for a second and just stretch out the wrists a little bit, totally fine. Let's come back down. Now the left knee is going to rotate through the hip. So we're gonna lift that knee up on the left side, bring it around. Now watch that right thigh. The right thigh bone should stay perpendicular to your mat. The hip should remain over the knee. Don't let the head drop. Keep a nice, long, neutral cervical spine. That's the back of your neck. Switch directions. One more rotation. Beautiful. Sit back into extended child's pose. Good, lifting the hips, coming back into your tabletop. Bring your right foot to the outside of the right pinky. Rise up into a half kneeling position. Tuck the tail under and squeeze the glute muscle to get a stretch through the hip. Now lift that left arm, coming into a lateral bend. So we're keeping nice right angles. If you don't feel the stretch, squeeze your butt. Opening through the left chest. Do not collapse or twist through the torso. Lateral bend only. You can gaze up past your left elbow. Squeeze your legs towards your center line for stability. Get a big stretch through the side body. Good, slowly through center. Now we're going to twist to the right. So you're just gonna take that left hand, bring it to the outside, and the other hand comes to the hip, looking over your right shoulder. Pelvis, everything else stays square to the front, just twisting through the mid-back. Shoulders relax, chest lifted. Keep squeezing your legs. Squeeze the left glute. Good, back through center. We'll straighten out through the front leg, flex through the ankle. Now, if you have blocks, this is a good time to use them, especially if you have a really tight hamstrings, low back. So we're going to place the blocks down, and I want you to extend through the spine, flex through the ankle. So this position, as opposed to right? If you were here, right? So it looks like, oh, I'm a lot deeper, right? But really I don't feel it. I feel it less because of the position of the pelvis. So what I'm doing with my pelvis is I'm untucking, okay? This is like the cow. So as opposed, this is cat, right? This is my cow pose. I'm untucking the tail and extending through the spine. You can feel the difference in the stretch behind that leg. Good work. So we're gonna take that right leg and we're gonna bring it out 90 degrees. Tuck your toes under on the left side and the blocks might not be needed. We're going to sit the hips back, but keep the chest lifted. So I've got my fingertips tented, I'm extending through the spine, my back toes are tucked, so I'm getting a lot of stretches. I have inner thigh stretch, I've got my foot in the back stretching through the ankle, maybe even through the calf. Find the breath. Breathe down, front, back, side, side. Good. Lift the hip from the heel, staying in this position. We're going to inhale with the right arm, lift up. Exhale, thread the needle. Keep the left elbow straight and reach underneath as far as you can. Reach straight out to the side. Inhale, arm lifts. Exhale, thread the needle through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread the needle. One more time on this side. Beautiful. Coming back to your tabletop. Now the left leg will come to the outside of the left pinky, coming up into perfect 90 degrees, right? Good geometry. Now tuck the tail, squeeze the left glute, finding a stretch extension through that right hip. The right arm lifts up, moving laterally, so not twisting, just a lateral bend. Coming back through center, the right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh. Left hand comes to the hip, gazing over left shoulder. Keep the pelvis square to the front. Breathing into low belly. Slowly returning to center, straightening out through the front leg. Flex through the ankle. Get your blocks. Hands comes to blocks. Once you find your position, extend through the spine. Flex through the ankle. Lift the chest. Beautiful. The left leg comes 90 degrees to the side. Tuck the back toe under. You may not need your blocks. We're going to sit the hips back, keep the chest lifted. My fingertips are tented in front of me, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing into the hips, breathing into inner thighs. Lift hips from heels. You can untuck your toe. Plant the right hand on an inhalation. Lift up, open through the chest. Exhale, thread the needle, look right, reach right. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. One more time. Good, coming back to neutral, bringing the knee in. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide, slight bend in the knee. Ears align with your biceps. Just settle into your first down dog. You can move around a little bit before you find stillness. Make sure that the meaty part between your thumb and index finger is pressed down. On an inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, glide through high plank. Plant the right foot between the thumbs. Drop the back knee down. Top of the foot comes down. On an inhalation, arms rise up over your head, low lunge. One more inhale. Exhale, frame front foot, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, glide through high plank. Plant the foot between your thumbs. Drop back knee. Lift up. Low lunge. One more inhale. Exhale, frame front foot, downward facing dog. Inhale through high plank. Exhale, lower down, knees, belly, chest, elbows lock in, tops of the feet down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your feet to your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold. One more time, half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale through flat back, rise up, arms sweep overhead, standing salute. Exhale, arms down by your sides, Tadasana. Hold and breathe, relax your shoulders. Finding that neutral spine, the ribs are tucked, there's a strong cylinder through your trunk. Beautiful, inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, sit down into chair pose. Hold here. Now build some heat through the quads. The arms are going to start getting fatigued as we keep them up over the head. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together, wrapping the pinkies inward. Good. It's an inhale to bring your hands to your heart. Exhale, twist to the left. Hook your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. Now look at your right knee. If it's traveled forward, you got to bring it back. What's going to happen probably is if you were here, you're going to end up here, just like I did. But that's okay because it means that we're getting into the mobility of your spine instead of compensating by rotating the hips and pelvis. Okay, so it's a good thing. We might lose a little range, but it means that we're doing it with more proper alignment. Good, now pour all the way into the left leg. Now, once you feel stable, get your confidence. We're gonna shoot that right leg back, high lunge. Now squeeze the legs together. You'll probably be able to get a little more rotation here. Squeeze legs towards midline. Option always to drop the right knee. Find your breath. On your inhalation, arms sweep up overhead. We're in a high lunge. If you come down to knee, option to come back up. Keep front knee over ankle. Squeeze the leg, shoulders relaxed, chest lifted, soft, steady gaze. Beautiful. Now pivot the right foot 90 degrees. Bring the left forearm down to the top of the left thigh. Reach the right arm up over the head. Now option here is to have the hand all the way down on the floor or on a block. Open up that right chest. Try not to twist or collapse. If you feel that way, then you probably just need to come up a little bit. That's okay. Squeeze, squeeze through the thighs, squeeze the glutes. Beautiful. So we're gonna inhale one more time as we exhale. Square through the front of the mat, hands frame front foot, going through chaturanga, lower down. It's a back bend to inhale. And an exhale to get you to downward facing dog. Inhale, feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up through flat back, arms overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. Hold your Tadasana, breathe. You can close your eyes. Good, open the eyes. On an inhale, arms sweep up over the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Now stay in the forward fold, clasp elbows, clasp onto opposite elbows, and just let the neck hang for a second. Bend through the knees. Release elbows, deep bend through the knees to rise up back to stand. Lift chest, shoulders back. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose. On an inhale, hands come to the heart. Exhale to twist to the right. Good, now pour all your weight into the right leg. And when you're ready, shoot that leg back into the lunge. Option to drop the back knee down. Looking over right shoulder. Squeeze through the legs. On an inhalation, arms rise up over the head. Where can you soften? Where can you relax? Finding deep, expansive breaths. Good. Externally rotate through the left foot. We'll bring the hand down so the forearm rests on the thigh, reaching up over the head. Option to have the hand down on the floor, or you can use a block. Think about creating the strongest, straightest line that you can through the whole top side of the body. That top shoulder, release it down away from the ears. Feel the top shoulder blade tuck down and in towards the spine. On an inhalation, last inhale, and as we exhale, we'll come back through center, square the hips, lower down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up through flat back, arms sweep up over the head. Exhale, 5 pointed star. Yeah, nice and wide. Let's turn the right toes 90 degrees. Bend that right knee, looking over right fingertips, warrior 2. Lengthen low back by squeezing through the back of the legs. Ribs are tucked. Breathing into low belly. On an inhalation, straighten through the front knee. Exhale, reach out over the horizon. Coming into Trikonasana, a great time to use a block to create a lot more stability and, dare I say, make it a little more enjoyable. Now squeeze through the legs, reach energetically through the fingertips. Now, an option here, if you want a little challenge for the core and your balance, you can take the right hand and you can either bring it to hook onto your hip, or you can bring arms over your head. Keep opening up to the left. Do not twist the upper body. If that happens and you're just not ready, and it's okay, you can work towards it. Good, if you've lifted arms or grabbed a hip, come back to traditional Trikonasana, pressing back through the back leg to rise up. Bend front knee, warrior 2. Beautiful, flip your front palm. Slowly reverse your warrior, relax your left arm, let it drape over the back thigh. Keep the bend in the front knee, so don't allow this to happen, right? Keep that bend, gazing up past the top elbow. It's an inhale to come back to warrior 2. Exhale, arms by your sides, coming back to your 5-pointed star from the hips down. You can leave your arms by your sides. A little bit of a break between. All right, float the arms up. Externally rotate through the left foot. Beautiful, so my hips are square to you. Your hips are squared, well, I don't know how you're positioned, but we're externally rotated, right? Bend the front knee, make sure it comes over the ankle. If it's falling in, squeeze the left glute. Gaze soft over the left fingertips. Shoulders relaxed, chest lifted. Don't flare out the ribs, right? Tuck the ribs by positioning your pelvis in neutral. It's an inhale to straighten through the front knee. Exhale, reach out over the horizon. Arms come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So we're creating as many right angles as we can in this position. Open that right shoulder, guys. Don't let that right shoulder heavy collapse towards the floor. Open it up. Option is to hook onto the hip or reach both arms over the head. Shoulders out of ears, squeeze through the legs. If you've taken an option, come back to the traditional. Press through the back foot, rise up. Bend front knee, warrior 2. Shoulders relaxed, right? It's really easy to come here, right? Relax, soften. Flip the front palm and reverse your warrior, keeping the low body exactly as it is, just moving gracefully through the upper body. And I use that term gracefully, loosely. It's an inhale to come back to your warrior two. And then exhale to straighten the knee arms down by your sides. Let's turn the toes back towards the front. Slight pigeon toe so that the outside of your feet are parallel with the outside of your mat. You're going to bring your hands to your hips on an inhale, arching through back, lifting up the chest. Exhale, coming through that back bend all the way down as far as you can go. And then release your arms. Release your head. You can widen out your stance even more. And simply relax into this wide-legged forward fold. You can have softness in your knees. You don't need to lock out your knees. Totally relax your head and your neck. Make sure your weight is even through your feet. If you're heavy through your heels, shift the weight forward and vice versa. Beautiful. Let's flatten the back, tent the fingertips. Now, if you can see me, that's great because the verbal cueing for this can get a little bit confusing, but I'm going to try my best. So you're going to take your right hand and you're going to reach under your left arm and you're going to hook it on to either your calf or your ankle. Okay, so that's number one. And then from here, squeezing through the legs, we're going to take the left palm and we're going to place it on our low back and we're going to look up at the ceiling as best we can. Now your option is to reach up with the left arm or you can just keep it on the low back. Now if it's on the low back, see if you can keep your hips level. You might need to move your feet closer together and that's okay. Just make adjustments. Keep pulling through the right arm to get more of a twist. Obviously do what feels right. Find that edge. Don't push beyond it. Good. First bringing the left arm down and then releasing the right hand. Let's come back to that tented position. Again, make adjustments as needed, guys. You might need to move your feet closer, whatever, totally fine. So from here, we're gonna reach under the right arm with our left hand, grab onto that ankle or calf, and then place the right hand on our low back. Now, if our hips are level, you can reach up with the right hand. Gazing up at the ceiling, continuing to gently pull with the left arm to get deeper into the twist. Can you breathe here? Lowering the right arm first and then releasing your grip with the left hand. We're going to heel toe our feet till they're about outside our shoulders, okay? So from here, with the toes turned out slightly, we're going to drop the hips down, coming into a yoga squat. So we're just in this really low squat. Now, guys, tight hips, tight quad, whatever, grab your block, put it right underneath your butt. Yeah, so you don't have to just be hanging out. The other great thing about having the block under you is that, like, when I'm just here, it's really hard for me to extend my spine. Like you can see, I'm rounding my spine. But as soon as I give myself a little bit of support, now I can really, really practice that, getting that nice straight spine. So drive the knees out, lift the blocks as high as you need to, so you can feel stable. Keep lifting the chest, dropping the shoulders, Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Think about extending the spine. Think about back bending. Now you can stay exactly where you are, or if you'd like to play around with crow, this is a great position. I would bring your arms maybe a little bit lower and basically keep your gaze up. That's a really important trick for balancing in crow. You're gonna just keep your gaze up, and you can just play around with balancing here. Just keep looking forward. And you can just like rock back and forth too. That's kind of fun if you're not used to doing it. Or you can just stay in your squat. It's just a fun thing. It doesn't really matter, you know. No pose is better than any other pose. So if you come into crow, you're just gonna make your way slowly back to your squat. And then we're gonna just do a little bit, we're gonna come out of this and you know, do what you can. But we're gonna raise our arms up over our head and try to stand up from that squat nice and slow. If you can't do that, just do whatever to stand up. Oh, good. Bring your arms down by your sides. And just relax. Coming into a Tadasana, just take a second. You can roll your neck around a little. Awesome. Cool. So the last pose we're going to do standing is pyramid, which is another really great move for the hamstrings. And last week I showed you an option to get into the calves. We're gonna do that option today. So it's just an option, guys. You don't have to take it. So you're gonna have a block. If you don't want the calf version, just keep your foot on the flat on the floor. So let's come into a staggered position. So we're about a foot or so between the feet. And that front foot, you're gonna put the ball of your foot on the low part of the block, okay? So make sure your hips are square to the front. That's really important that this hip isn't externally rotated, shoulders stacked over hips, everything is square. So from here, I'm gonna put another block kind of right there. There we go. Try to center up best I can here. Now put your hands on your hips. Now keep your knees as straight as possible, okay? They don't have to be locked out, it's totally fine. We're going to back bend, so our elbows are coming behind us, and we're gonna forward fold from that back bend. The hips are moving back. And then once we reach almost parallel, the hands will come down to the block. So what we're trying to do here is maintain a neutral spine. Now, if you have something nearby, like this would be really helpful, right? If I couldn't keep a flat back. So I would just come down to here. So that's totally fine, just kind of whatever you have available. Keep extending through the spine, gazing forward. Soften the muscles of your face. Extend, right? So instead of tucking, we're working to extend through the spine, and you'll feel that big difference, just like we did in the modified split. Beautiful. So we'll take 30 seconds or so, and all we're going to do, we're just going to lower down. So allowing flexion through the spine, just completely relax your head and your neck. Remember, you can bend your knees a little bit. It's no problem. Just relax your head and neck. Take a few deep breaths. Good. Let's come back into that flat back position, hands on the hips, and we're going to come up through that flat back to rise. Beautiful. Let's switch sides. Not walking a tightrope, right? So it's like you're on railroad ties with those feet. Hands come to the hips, back bending all the way through your forward fold. Finding that flat back, gaze out in front. Keep lifting the tail. Good. Now completely forward fold. Relax your head and neck. Allow the spine to flex. Good work. Engaging through the back. Flatten the spine. Hands to hip. Back bending. Up to stand. Awesome. All right. Setting blocks to the side. Let's come on down to the mat. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down to your mat. On an inhale, coming into back bend of your choice. Hold and breathe. Press the floor away if you're in cobra, or if you're in up dog, make sure shoulders are away from the ears. Dragging, moving the heart forward. Breathing. And slowly lowering down, elbows hug in. Right ear comes to the mat, arms down by your sides. Relax. Forehead comes center, bring hands under shoulders. Press back through your tabletop. We're gonna come into pigeon on the right side. So right kneecap comes to the back of the wrist. Stretch the left leg out behind you. You can stay up high. Great stretch in the hip, or you can forward fold. Press up gently through the arms. We'll come back into table. And switch sides. Just make your way slowly into whatever shape of pigeon works best for you. Pressing up through the hands, coming back into your table. Just cross the ankles and sit down and lie back. We only have 2 more poses before Shavasana. Let's take a supported bridge. So press through the feet, lift the hips, coming up to whatever height of block you are going to place it under, and totally relax the pelvis into the block. So the block is under your sacrum, not under your lumbar spine, okay? It's like right at the top of your butt crack, basically. So make sure that you can really feel supported. Your arms can either be down by your sides, or you can bring them over the head. Slight tuck to the chin to lengthen the back of the neck, and keep the thighs parallel. Pressing through the feet to lift the hips. Remove your block very slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Curl the spine back down and hug the knees into the chest. Releasing just the right leg, straighten out the right leg, and bring the left knee across your body into a twist. Looking out over the left shoulder. Try to relax the bottom leg. Make sure there's no gripping through the glute on the right leg. Slowly moving through center, straightening the left leg, hugging in the right knee, and then gently bring that right knee across the body into a twist. Gazing to the right, right arm outstretched, palm facing up. And as you're ready, let's get into Shavasana. So take your time. Coming back onto your back, we'll bring the feet wide on the mat, arms by your sides, palms face up. Give your armpits room to breathe. Close your eyes. And completely let go of your effort. We'll spend 5 minutes resting. Giving permission to each muscle to let go and relax. The work is done. Feeling the weight of the body, the gravity, pulling you down into your mat. The feeling of heaviness brings a sense of safety and stability, that we're being supported, cradled, that we can let go. And the universe is there to catch us. Bringing small movements back to your fingers and toes. Taking a few deep breaths. Stretch your arms up over your head. Big stretch. Then one at a time, the knees will come into the chest, rocking onto the right side of your body. Taking a few breaths in the fetal position. Press up with as little effort as possible, coming back to your seated position, eyes closed, tall through the spine, heavy through the sit bones. Feeling that equal opposite energy of groundedness and lightness. Drawing your attention inward to your breath. Extending gratitude to yourself for taking your time, taking the time to invest in your practice today. There's always a million other things we could be doing. It's easy to get distracted, easy to put it off, but you're here, and celebrating that is important. Bringing hands to heart. May we walk through this day seeing every challenge as an opportunity, having an open mind, an open heart, giving everyone, including ourselves, the benefit of the doubt, knowing deep down we're all doing the best that we can. Until next time, namaste. Thanks so much, everyone. I will unmute. Stop recording first.